My 11th Circle presents Crickbuzz Live, a special look back at what's been a heartbreaker in Headingley, especially if you're an Afghanistan fan, or if you look at it in a different way, a humdinger at Headingley from a neutral perspective. What a finish. Let's quickly bring you up to date with exactly what happened in a game where maybe not so many runs were put on, but that's what's been making for fabulous games at this World Cup. 227 for 9 in their 50 overs. Didn't look like it was going to be imposing, but that's what can actually challenge you as an opposition, especially Pakistan, who started losing a wicket without a run on the board and then got to 230 for 7. Huffed and puffed would have been a good way to describe that. Often you look at batting figures on a graphic, the only game in this World Cup so far without anyone scoring a 50.
And what a match. What an absolute humdinger of a match to have two matches like that for Afghanistan. A heartbreaker against India, a heartbreaker against Pakistan. Both matches, they were so very close to completing this. And that's the difference, just that little bit of experience, that fielding which is not completely international classes yet. Those little things. And Afghanistan must be looking at there at least 10 moments out there they'd look at and say, this could have changed the match.
The other thing is, listening to and reading everything that Imad Wasim said, he was the player of the match at the end of the day, and he said Rashid was bowling beautifully. He couldn't even pick him. So the idea was to play him out, play Mujib out, and they were hoping Gulbadin bowled, and he bowled.
Over number 46, 18 runs went off that over. 18 runs of that over, and that is what really changed the game. There was a choice between him and Shinwari. Both had overs remaining. They went with the captain, and it just didn't work out. It wasn't their day.
It certainly wasn't. The parallel continues from 1992. You thought after one or two games that, you're overdoing it. Okay, it can't continue. Trust me, it's continued for 8 games. And here's a quick look at what we're talking about. Only difference is the opposition, but an uncanny, right from game number 3 that was abandoned down here, New Zealand, they were playing in that final 8th game at Christchurch, won it by 7 wickets, but they also lost a wicket without a run on the board. Amir Sohail on that occasion. At Headingley, it was Fakhar Zaman. So the parallels continue for Pakistan. The only difference that every Pakistani fan is talking about is the end result in 1992.
Absolutely.
And it's still alive.
It's still alive. Apparently today Sarfraz is spending some time on Google Maps searching for a place for a hospital, to build a hospital out there. All this is happening.
I thought you were saying he's already campaigning for Prime Minister.
Could happen. Both of those things could happen. But amazing. Even for the odds to be like that. 7 times if you roll the dice, getting it right 7 times in a row is about odds in ones of tens of thousands, And that's absolutely crazy.
It certainly is. Another thing to talk about is depth in Pakistan's batting. There are many teams in the tournament who may not be able to boast of that. Even India playing so brilliantly. When you have Shami coming in, outstanding a bowler as he might be, him at number 8 versus someone like an Imad or a Wahab Riaz or a Shadab coming in, big difference.
I think it is a big difference. They have that kind of batting and the kind of guys who hit it. I remember that one shot where he just picked Rashid right. That 1-6 of Rashid. It was a googly. He picked the googly. If he picked that ball wrong, the game was over at that point. Because at that point, if he got out, and the 6 was a big one because they were really under pressure. The other thing is, if you look at Rashid's bowling analysis, it doesn't tell you the real story. He was much better than that. The runs were scored in a situation where there was just nothing could be done.
Yeah, both Rashid and Mujib bowled beautifully. Gulbadin Naib was the odd factor. In fact, in addition to that 6, that cover drive that he hit for 4,
absolutely.
outstanding, like
Brilliant.
a top order batsman.
Absolutely.
But one thing has to be said for them, and I know there's a lot of rivalry between the two nations, between the two teams and the fans, but you'll have to say that a lot of those strokes were not played off the bat, they were played from here.
Absolutely, especially, Wahab Riaz, the way he batted, the kind of shots they took, the kind of risks they took. I loved the way they played the game, and this for me is exactly what really good 50-over cricket was about. And if you look at 50-over cricket, they say that, this format doesn't really do well, but these are the kind of games that make 50-over cricket look really good.
Also, it makes this particular World Cup look really good because let's hark back to the 9th of June when the top 4 teams were settled in there, India, New Zealand, Australia and England. And you said, well, that's set there, and it was set till today. The first time we've seen a change in the points table has been after all these days when the host nation, yes, the host nation, have slipped to number 5, and Pakistan, after those 2 invaluable points, are now at number 9 with 1 to play. The only difference, of course, England have 1 more match in hand. But to suddenly slip out of the top 4, what a change in that.
Absolutely pressure. And think what happens if New Zealand win today, the pressure will be even more on England, because then they'll be really chasing the game, as it were. Those 2 wins will become almost essential for them. So this is a fantastic series, and nobody would have thought, would anyone have thought England would be in the position they are in today.
Yes, particularly if you had a look at the schedule at the start of the tournament, you'd be thinking, oh, crucial India-England game, maybe fighting first, second, third. Will that be a qualification spot? Definitely not thinking, and not from England's point of view. So that's what England have left. India at Edgbaston and New Zealand in Durham, which is also a place, if New Zealand had to pick one place to perhaps play England at that stage, they'd want something up north.
They'd want something up north, absolutely, and make sure that, Jason Roy's, return to, top order cricket is not going to be friendly. They have the bowlers to exploit those conditions. They'd love it up there.
They certainly would love it up there, but the story really has been Pakistan playing with heart. And of course, you can't count Afghanistan out. I mean, every time, just a final comment, Joy, about them, because even when they lose, you can see the dejection on their faces. The fact that it's the greatest story in world cricket cannot change.
It cannot change. I mean, they've been 20 over wonders, and I think we expect so much of them because they improved so fast in 20 over cricket. 50 overs is just that little bit tougher, but they've been wonderful, and they've been so enjoyable to watch. And that's the most wonderful thing, to see the way they've played their cricket, the way they've expressed themselves has been fantastic.
Certainly has. Just imagine if they didn't have all their off-field problems. Today too we saw there were 2 captains, not 1, but that's an issue to discuss for another day. For now, it's time to just celebrate Pakistan getting into the top 4, and what a possibility we have, what a set of possibilities we have going ahead in this tournament.